on my second coat of paint for my stool. I realize I haven't done an intro, so we're gonna paint and intro it at the same time. So welcome back to our channel. I'm Gabs, half of Slip Slip Sis. You are probably wondering why I am painting a stool in the middle of January. Well, I will answer that for you. So back in 2015, I started a knit group. This is going to be a long story time because I got a whole stool to paint. I started with a knit group in Irvine, and sorry, I met one of the women there who was crocheting, and she was crocheting a Sophies Universe. So I really liked the design. It was as the design was coming out. So I really liked it. I thought it was really cute, and I wanted to make my own. So I did. And that's what I've been working on at home inside our, what I've been working on lately anyway. Granted, remember I said this is 2015. Sorry, we live in the flight path. We're gonna pause. Alright, so that was in 2015, and then I never finished the Sophie, so now I'm trying to finish it now in 2024. Well, I also started another Sophie because in 2017, I was newly married, and my husband bought me the Cotton 8 Sophies Universe pack, and that's by, I've looked this up on YouTube many times to how to pronounce it, and it's still not great. So it's the Sophies. I'll put it on the screen. I'm not good at it. I swear I've looked it up lots of times. Anyway, so it's a Cotton 8 kit. So I started crocheting that. Well, I discovered I'm never going to finish the Sophies Universe if I actually try and make a second one, because it's too bulky. It's too much of a project. I like to cast on too many other things. I've got too many other interests. I'm never going to finish it if I try and do a second Sophies Universe. So in, I think, 2017, Dedry Ace, which is the designer, came out with a stool pattern for Sophies Universe. And that's what I'm doing. So I found this stool on the side of the road and am painting it. It used to be brown. I did a rough scuff sand of it. This is not a DIY channel, by the way. So if you're looking for DIY tips, not me. I am painting it because I didn't want it to be, there's hair on the stool. It's probably mine. I didn't want it to be the brown color that it was. So I am instead painting it, it's a pinky color, that is the same color as my family room in the house. So it is a leftover paint, and I'm going to, once I'm done painting it, then I'm going to crochet a cover and a top for the seat, and then I'm going to have it in my classroom. So I am upcycling this stool. You will have seen earlier that Lottie was painting it with me, but she did not appreciate how I had her bundled up because it's a little bit cold. So I had her bundled up in her snow jacket and a hat, and it was a knit hat, and then I made her put on an apron because I didn't want her to get her snow jacket all wrapped up. So she did not appreciate that. So when I came out for the second coat, she was like, "I'm not going out with you, Mama." And she didn't want to do that with me, which is fine. So now I'm out here painting my stool for my Sophies Universe kit, which I don't even know how much of the kit, like how much I started it, and I don't even know how much of like the mandala I've done yet. So I'm trying to figure out how to flip this so I don't have to move. So I don't even know how much of the mandala I've done yet. So that'll be exciting as well when I have to figure out how much I need to do. So it's the seat of the stool, as well as you crochet up the legs of the stool, and then it's got cute little feetses going on it, and then that's your stool. So this was I guess an upcycle or a found thing. That's what I do with most of my stuff when I want to like DIY it, because I'm not there. I know there's all these beautiful DIY channels and stuff like that on social media that I could watch, but I don't do that. I just kind of wing it. I mean, I paint sets, right? I painted sets. I painted them starting in middle school with my middle school, when we did plays there. Painted them all through high school, and then in college we had to take a stagecraft course, as well as in graduate school I worked in the scene shop, mostly props, but I did have to paint some scenery. I painted it was supposed to look like the night sky, so I helped paint the night sky on a floor for a version of A Christmas Carol that we did when I was in graduate school, which was really cool. It unfortunately just didn't really look like the night sky, because when you paint a stage floor, you have to seal it, right? Because you gotta, right, you don't want it to chip when people dance on it, because it was a Christmas Carol, so it was a musical and people were dancing, and all the girls at the time were in character heels, so their heels would have scuffed the floor. So when they covered it with some kind of like polyurethane or something, it made the floor reflective. So then you couldn't see the really cool details of the night sky that we had spent an entire weekend painting on the floor. So that was kind of disappointing. It was my first semester of graduate school, and I was like bummed because we had spent a whole bunch of time and it didn't pan out. I wasn't the scenic designer on it. Oh, I should introduce myself. I talk about this a lot. I am a drama teacher now, a public high school drama teacher, but my degree is in theater arts, and I went to my graduate school, or to my graduate program, for stage management. So my MFA is in stage management. So all the stage managers had to work in the scene shop, and while we were working in the scene shop, we learned about that discipline. So I also got to work in the costume shop, which was fun and stressful. It was like mostly a lot of laundry, honestly. I didn't get to do all that much draping or anything because most of the other stage managers didn't know how to sew. So I did a lot of laundry for all the different shows, and I did a lot of like tagging or like hand sewing, which was fine too, which was exciting and fun. Now you're just getting a life story as I paint. But I guess I should do a knitting update while we're doing it. Shaylee and I are planning to podcast. Today is Saturday, January 12th. Shaylee and I plan to podcast tomorrow, so I don't want to talk about too much of my knitting projects, but I am bound and determined to try and finish all of my whips from before the pandemic. That's basically what I'm classifying it, like before and after the pandemic, of doing different things in crafting. So my goal is to finish all my projects I started in essentially 2015 and 2016. I have finished a lot of them. I'd say there were 8. Yeah, 8 sounds right. There were 8, and I only have 2 left. One of them is the aforementioned Sophies Universe, that I have half a row left on it, which is not bad at all. So hopefully that'll be something that gets done tonight. And then that's done, and then I can finish painting this buddy today. That's the hope and dream, is that I'm done painting it today, so I can let it fully dry for 24 hours. I'm on my second coat. Let it fully dry for 24 hours, and then it will be ready so I can take the measurements. Oops, sorry, went out of frame. Yes, that's the plan, because I'm using January as my month for finishing all my unfinished objects, so that for February, the plan for February is that I have another embroidery countdown to Valentine's Day, and then I have the love story socks that I'm supposed to be making with my sister that I wish to work on as well. So then my hope is, if my whips are done by January, by the end of January, then I can kind of start fresh in February. And that'll be like my actual start of the new year, because I've got all these plans, right? Like we all do. But January is always like my whip down month when I'm working on stuff. Sorry, there's another airplane. Pause. Okay. Oh no. Missed some of the undersides, which is not really the underside, it's actually the overside, because when I flip this, it went overside, and that's not what we want. Okay. I think we're good. I want to flip this, buddy. I don't know how well that's going to go. Let's see how this works. And how much paint I'm going to get on myself flipping this sucker. Because I probably should have thought of this beforehand. Okay. Tipped it. I did it. Oh, look at all those unpainted ends. Okay. So now I've tipped it, so now I can see what still needs to be painted, because ideally, I obviously want it to look good from this side, right? Because this is the side that you see when it's upright, and it's looking pretty cute. It's looking pretty nice. I like it. Better than its original color. Its original color I was not initially a fan of. I'm not a fan of that brown scheme as much. My husband, unfortunately, really likes that raw or stained wood finish. So we have a significant amount of artistic differences when it comes to decorating our house. Because if I had it my way, I would paint and wallpaper half the house with bright, bold floral prints. And if my husband had it his way, our house would all be monochrome with navy blue accents, which, if that's your style, that's awesome for you. It just happens to not be mine. Thus, there's a lot of compromising that we do, which I'm sure is normal in most cohabitation situations. There's a lot of compromising that we do in terms of our design aesthetic in the house. Oh man, stools are tricky to paint here. I'm trying to get into the bevel part, and it is proving to be a challenge. Trying to get inside the things. I realize you can't see me at all anymore, so maybe I'll sign off here because I gotta move around to be able to get some of this stuff going the way I want it to. Alright. Alright, it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty nifty. Okay. I'll check in with you in a bit. Alright, it is painted. I'm gonna leave it outside to dry, probably until this evening, because I don't want it to get wet. And then I'll bring it inside and it will be ready for the crochet pieces. Good morning. It is a very dark check-in on my Sophies Universe stool. If you watched Vlogmas or Vlogmember, all of my vlogging throughout the fall, this will be an accustomed sight of me walking in pitch black. I am wearing my reflective wear, so don't stress about it. It's about 6:30. I'm going for a run. I have not been running this month, mostly because it's cold, and I have a rule that I don't run if it's raining or below 40 degrees. I've been doing yoga with Adrian, which is a 30-day yoga program that Jennifer of Alindra in it, she kind of like hosted it. She's doing a Discord, and a couple of us are doing it all together. So I've been doing yoga, which I feel great, but running is my favorite. That is the one that I want to do. If it was warm, I would run, but Anyway, this is not a vlog. This is a check-in for Sophies Universe. I finished the top. I kind of had to fudge how to close the stool or close the cover, because the stool that was part of the kit is the seat's like this deep, and that's not how deep the stool is on the thing that I have. And her stool for the kit has a cloth seat, so the crochet, the cotton just kind of grips to it, but mine's wood. So I actually had to like flip underneath it and kind of hold on to it. So I did that. It came out okay-ish. It's stuck on. It's fine. It could be better, but I'm not ripping out and redoing because it's just not a thing. Then I'm working on the little socks. They're for the feet. Oh my gosh, changing stitches or changing colors every row on a very small circumference with a linen stitch is the least fun. Sorry, I'm distracted by whatever noise that is. I think it's a cat. That sucked. Crochet linen stitch, I think is what it's called. It's where you single crochet, chain one, and then it alternates on the second row. That gains like no height when you're working it. It takes forever. And then changing colors also takes forever because I'm doing the rainbow feet as described in the pattern. The first one, I spent all this time weaving in the ends, and then my fingers hurt, and I was like, this is miserable. And it took me an hour and a half to make a tiny little thing. And I was like, I'm not doing that. So I crocheted it without weaving in the ends because I realized it's going on a stool. I'm jamming it onto a wooden leg, and the chair is not going to take it on and off, so I don't have to weave in the ends. So I didn't. So I jammed it on there. This one was a little bit too small. I think I decreased too much. So yeah. So I had to really shove that buddy on. But again, it's a stool. So I have 2 more of those to do. My hope and goal is to finish them and to finish the stool. And then I am done with all of my pre-pandemic projects. Well, we're not going to talk about sewing projects because that's not what this is about. But that's where we are. So wish me luck that I can finish it today. Today is Friday. I hope to finish today and be able to take good pictures tomorrow on Saturday. Okay, talk to you later. Good morning. It is Sunday, January 21st. This is my wrap up of my Sophies Universe stool. Took me about a week to finish it from where I was in part 2 of the mandala. So I started part 1, I did part 1 and a portion of part 2 in 2017, then never picked it back up. I started last Saturday, I think, with painting the stool, and then kind of crocheted on it the rest of the week. It only took a week, but oh my gosh, it felt like it took forever. Linen stitch, I've already complained about this. Linen stitch and crochet takes forever. I guess linen stitch and knitting also takes forever too, but it's cute. I love it. We got a really cute picture of it in the window. I'm gonna love it. Like, I think it's gonna be one of the most used things. I'm leaving it home for a while it's still raining, and then I may bring it to school in my classroom. But overall, I didn't necessarily enjoy the process of making it very much, but I love how cute it looks. So this is definitely a product make rather than a process make, because it honestly, the yarn's a little bit splitty, which is probably just how cotton yarn is. You have to read the pattern every row, which is not something I really want to do. And then making the feet, you have to change colors every round, so there's like a million ends, and it's a really small circumference. So yes, it's cute. Definitely, if you like the look of it, like, there's nothing wrong with the pattern. It's just the way it's constructed is tedious. So it is what it is, but it's done. All of my pre-pandemic makes are done, which feels awesome. I had 4 pre-pandemic makes that I wanted to finish, and they were all absolute beasts. And I feel pretty good that I did it in about 3 weeks, which means to say I was being probably a big fat baby about it, and I totally could have finished them. And they weren't like these epic slogs that I couldn't do. However, most projects I seem to be able to finish if I work consistently on them for probably 8 weeks, if start to finish, if I don't dawdle or get distracted or anything like that. Barring life events or stuff like that. But if I'm on my usual making pattern, I can finish most things. Blankets, I don't know. I'm in a crochet blanket era. I love them. I get it. I am about a year behind, or a year or two behind, whatever Knitting Daddy is doing, because I'm stashing down this year, as well as in a crochet blanket era. They just go so fast. They go so fast. They're cozy. It's awesome. I actually am starting another one. I have like 4 blankets right now going, and they're all in various states of done because they're all scrappy, right? So it's only when you have the scrap to put in it. So it's like a long-term whip, but that's all right. So yeah, thank you for watching this Sophie's Universe stool video. Stay tuned for more. We try and do 2 podcasts a month, and then knitting challenges thrown in, a couple of retreats or yarn crawls or something like that. So if that's something you're interested in, join us. What I have coming up next is I'll probably do like a 14 days of Valentine's Day vlog situation. I have another a daily embroidery project for February, so I'll do that. I'll cast on the love story socks that my sister already finished and I'm supposed to be making. And then I think I'm going to do a February 1st cast on for Black History Month. So if you would like to follow along with all of those things, subscribe and you can check out our February happenings. I don't know. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.